Let them rule themselves. Let them have their own government, and we come and meet with them. If y'all want to deal with them, that's y'all business. But I'm not going to put my foot on over. And it seems as if the women now started policing themselves. So there's an issue. They're the ones that were infighting. They're the ones that dealt with that and kept each other in line.
If I can jump in for a second, Rastafari, if we can jump in for a second. Have you yourself, sir, ever had to, put your hands on a female? And if so, did you apologize?
No, I never had to put my hands on a female.
Rastafari, sir. Come on.
I'm being honest. I'm being fully honest.
I've never met a Jamaican woman that did not chin check her man. I've never met a Jamaican woman that did not chin check her man.
I didn't say that. What did I say?
Okay.
Once she slapped me, I'm gone.
Oh, okay. So you have been chin checked by a Yardie queen, yes, or princess?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was over here. It was over here. It was in the United States, and I ran. I didn't want to go to jail.
You ran?
I didn't want to. I ran for my freedom.
Sir, you've said enough. Thank you for your donation. You've said enough. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
One love.
No matter how nice they are, no matter how beautiful they smell, and most of the Jamaican girls that I've come into contact with smell awesome. Maybe it's the DNA, I don't know. But they all have chin checked their man. Can I get an amen in the live chat? Anybody got a Jamaican mother? You've seen her chin check your father. Don't say you haven't.
Yeah, you already know it's your boy, man, Mr. The host of the most. Don't need to brag no boast. All do is give a toast to the real folks who done paved the way in the real way for us players to play. And yeah, man, let's talk about it, man. There's a whole lot of cooning going on in the game. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to where we need to be on a level of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a clear picture. So I want to know out there, y'all heard what's going on? Big U did an interview on Drink Champs. And he's talking about the whole Nipsey situation. And everybody's all skeptical about what Big U said and all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy because it is kind of fishy, to say the least, you know? So when you put all that into perspective, you're like, God damn, what happened? What really happened in the neck, you know? But she was going off like, didn't have beef. And towards the end, he really spoke about it, how he felt about the situation. And a lot of people are like, damn, that's crazy. You know? Then you got a whole bunch of other goofy shit going on, like Larry Elder and Herschel Walker speaking against reparations. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure it out. Like, why would you speak against something that would help your people unless you're trying to undermine your own people? You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Let's hear the Larry Elder and how he feels about this whole reparations bill. Because he's on some bullshit. And no way in hell something this OT should be debated.
Let me now move to.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you know they're reaching. And trying to do what they're supposed to do. Get the bag. You know, they're out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So now, Larry Elder as a lawyer was going to try to explain his side of his point of view on the reparations bill, like a lawyer, you know, very analytical, very strategic. Let's say the whole thing right. Let's go.
Our next witness is Mr. Elder. Mr. Elder is a conservative attorney, author, and host of the nationally syndicated radio program, The Larry Elder Show. He also writes a nationally syndicated column and produces videos for his YouTube channel in association with the Epoch Times. Mr. Elder received a JD from the University of Michigan and his BA from Brown University. Mr. Elder, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Congresswoman Lee, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. I am the executive producer of a documentary that came out June 19 last year called Uncle Tom, An Oral History of the Black Conservative. And as Congresswoman Lee pointed out, Black people are a race of overcomers. And it talks about the fact that despite all the problems that have been brought up in this committee about racism, about slavery, about Jim Crow, Black people have overcome to the point now where only 20% of Black people are below the federally defined level of poverty. Still too high, but in 1940, that number was 87%. And 20 years later, that number had been reduced to 47%, a 40-point drop in 20 years. That is the greatest 20-year period of economic expansion for the history of Black Americans. And notably, that came before the Brown versus Board of Education decision. That came before the civil rights bills of 1964, 1965. Despite all of this racism, all of this prejudice, Black people still overcame. I also find it ironic we're having this hearing 13 years after we elected and then re-elected the first Black president of the United States. I'm old school. I still get the newspapers thrown to my house. And the day that Obama got elected, I got the New York Times and the LA Times thrown to my home. And on the front pages of both newspapers, there were colored pictures of Black parents hugging their kids, crying, saying things like, now I can say for the first time truly that if you work hard, you can be anything you want to be. In 1997, Time Magazine and CNN did a broad survey of Black teens and white teens and asked both of them
what does Obama being president have to do with reparations? So he's saying Obama being president is a form of reparations. And the fact that the poverty line was cut in half by 40% is a form of reparations. Where's the logic? Y'all tell me. Why is he mixing apples and oranges? I don't understand it. Black people are overachievers. So what? should be get what you're owed. I mean, do we do that with the natives? They own a bunch of land. They're doing their thing. Casinos and all that. Do we do that with the Jews? They get aid every year. Do we do that with God knows how many other countries? Mind you, it wasn't a treaty. It was written in law. It was said that black folks are owed 40 acres and a mule. And, the equivalent of that right now would be even more. If you want to factor in inflation and interest. What? This guy is full of shit. Chicken.
Whether or not racism was a major problem in America, and both of them said yes, not too surprisingly. But then black teens were asked the following question: is racism a big problem, a small problem, or no problem in your own daily life? 89% of black teens in 1997 said racism was a small problem or no problem in my own daily life. In fact, twice as many black teens as white teens said failure to take advantage of available opportunities is a bigger problem than racism. End of quote. And that again was 23 years ago, before Obama got elected, let alone reelected. Speaking of Obama, 2007, he ran for presidency. His rival for the Democratic side was Hillary Clinton. And on the Republican side, the two primary rivals were John McCain and Mitt Romney. Gallup asked whether or not Americans would not vote for a black person, referring to Obama, would not vote for a woman, referring to Hillary Clinton, would not vote for a Mormon, referring to Mitt Romney, would not vote for a person as old as John McCain would be, 72 years old. And what Gallup found is 5% of Americans said they would not, under any circumstances, vote for a black person. 11% said they would not, under any circumstances, vote for a female. 24% said they would not vote for a Mormon. 42% said they would not vote for a person who would be 72 years old when he became president, which would have been the case had John McCain been elected. In other words, Obama as a black person had a smaller barrier than these three white politicians. So having this conversation right now, when racism has never been a less significant problem in America, to me is mind-boggling. Right now, Congress is 12% black, which is roughly the percentage of blacks in America. In 1964, Martin Luther King gave an interview to the BBC. And he said he was surprised at the changes that have taken place in America in recent years. And he believed that a black person could become president in 40 years' time, or maybe even less. That's roughly around the time when Obama became president. And Martin Luther King did not say, we will know when we've arrived at the promised land, when there's a black coach of Notre Dame, which has happened, when there is a black female who's the president of an Ivy League university, which has happened, when blacks are mayors of all the major cities in America, which has happened, when blacks are police chiefs of the major cities in America, when there are superintendents of schools of America or mayors of America, sometimes all three at the same time. He did not say that. He did not say when black people become millionaires and billionaires, which has happened. He did not say when black people become CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. He said when a black person becomes president, that's when we'll know we've reached a point where people are being evaluated based on the content of their character to the extent that it is reasonable to expect. And the idea that slavery built America is belied by the fact that at one time, Virginia was the most populous and wealthiest state in the Union. But within a couple of generations, it had fallen behind states in the North because the South depended upon slavery, which impoverished the South relative to the North, which is primarily why the North won the election. No one could have had, or very few people could have had, a life harder than my father. My father was 13 years old, born in 1915. He was kicked out of his house by his mother. Athens, Georgia, Jim Crow, at the beginning of the Great Depression. The man walked down the street, did whatever he could. Ultimately, he became a Pullman porter on the trains, which was the largest private employer of blacks in those days. Traveled all the world, became a Marine, was one of the first black Marines, a Montford Port Marine. And my dad always told my brothers and me the following: hard work wins. You get out of life what you put into it. You cannot control the outcome. but you are 100% in control of the effort. And before you complain about what other people did to you, go to the nearest mirror and say to yourself, what could I have done to change the outcome? And my dad always told us this: no matter how hard you work, no matter how good you are, sooner or later bad things will happen to you. How you respond to those bad things will tell your mother and me if we raise demand. And my father always said this about the Democrat Party: they want to give you something for nothing. And when you're trying to get something for nothing, you almost always end up getting nothing for something. Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Well, he has a point about the Democrats. But again, reparations is not something that's a policy that you put in place, like a law. It's something that was owed, so it's like this. If he don't want his reparations, he don't need to take it. But all the blacks that deserve reparations, that had family in chattel slavery in the United States, deserve compensation. I mean, it's that simple. Ain't much to talk about after that. And for you to say, oh, no one deserves reparation because your father works hard. I mean, everybody's father works hard. You know what I'm saying? Just being a father in those times was crazy in itself. So now you got people saying, black folks saying, oh, we don't deserve reparations, blah, 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 blah. Countering what we should actually be looking for, which is a leg up, you know what I'm saying, after all this bullshit. But for sure they're gonna push a dude like Larry Elder out because he's going along to get along, you know what I'm saying? If you go along to get along, they're gonna push you out in the forefront. Which is not the smartest way to go. I mean, he's gonna get money, but can he sleep with himself at night knowing that he really don't care about his people, or doesn't look at it the way like other people look at it? Other races care about their race. They're gonna say black people don't deserve reparations. It's like no one deserves anything. At the end of the day, no one deserves no compensation for what's done in the past. So if a Jewish person catches a Nazi, an old Nazi, they shouldn't try him. They shouldn't try him and bring him to the war crimes court, right? They should just let him go. I guess that's what y'all are trying to portray, right? The bygones be bygones, but shit don't work like that. It's not how it goes. So it's a lot of variables in shit. To keep it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a hundo. Now let's go to Big U. Y'all think that Big U is 100 when he said he ain't got nothing to do with the Nipsey Hussle shit? I don't know. But we're gonna listen to the last little bit. A lot of people feel shit is fishy, man. And Nipsey said if it's fishy, It's an inside job or something like that on one of his tracks. Crazy. Well, let's listen.
So when we came out, I had to find something as a manager to make your artist connect. So we needed something that would make him connect to the hood, because all this music was all about the hood. If you know, all of his early music was really about banging. It was Bullets Ain't Got No Name, Shoot the Block Up, Run and Shoot 'Em. It was all of that. And then in the beginning of this shit, I had to go and look at all his music, look at all the videos, and make sure we wasn't dissing nobody. If you remember all his early videos, his first videos, I directed them. I directed them. I got I'm in all those credits. Because it was my job, me as somebody trying to put something out there, connect to the city that everybody would respect. And I respected all these dudes, Bloods, Crips, Mexicans, and everybody else, because I just did 13 years with these dudes. So I wasn't gonna do 13 years with niggas and then come home and change up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just walk with you niggas on your niggas.
They said you united the y'all.
Yeah, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? No, real talk. Real talk. I did shit in prison had never been done before. I had a big ass Juneteenth day where we had all the blacks from every set, big ass eating. I taught classes in that motherfucker, man. I taught psychology classes. I taught classes that motherfucker really fucked me up, because I started really studying dudes and really seeing like a lot of niggas just gang banging us in jail, been molested, been I don't want to say it, but been molested, been hurt, been feel like nigga like gang banging is a defense mechanism in a lot of sorts. On shit that happened to motherfuckers when they was younger. And they're like, it ain't gonna happen no more. Now I'm man, I got a gun, I'm gonna fight against this. So I used to teach classes on the yard. You know what I mean? So when I came home, I just did 13 years with these niggas. I'm not gonna come home and add to gang banging. So when I went to go get my artists after being with Suge and them, studying all them, and getting me a little bag, it's time to go do me. So I found Nip. And I'm like, damn. So they didn't want to fuck with Nip. And they didn't want to fuck with Big U. Because Big U, the thugs, with Suge and all this shit. My name is getting in buildings before I do. So then I went and got Steve Lobel. I said, I got a white Jewish boy. He was dating my wife's niece. Steve was. And that's how I know Steve Lobel. And I bring Steve on as my face card. And then I shoot Steve in there. And we go to all the different labels, man. We went to Jermaine gonna get mad, Jermaine. We did come to you, but Jermaine wasn't the one that turned us down. He said, yeah, we went to everywhere, man. On the documentary too. Yeah. Tom Moskowitz gave us a month, booked us out a month to record. Suge gave me some recording time for Nip. You know what I mean? And all these dudes was helping me.
Gave you money
Suge, yeah, you gotta remember, I just left. Suge was still home. And she was like, he was helping me. That's my guy. He was like, you want to sign him? I'm like, yeah, all right. Suge gave me record time for Nip, gave me beats, gave us producers. Yeah, Suge did the early hours. And so then me and Jamal Rashid, started a company called Blue Magic Music Group. We signed Pooh Bear, we signed 1500. We did Lupe Fiasco album.
And for the role of Justin Bieber shit, right?
Yeah. You gotta remember, so this is stuff that people don't know I was doing at the time. I had Blue.
And you also met Harry O in jail.
Yeah, I met Harry O in jail. So 1500. So I really don't, like, people don't know. I gave 1500 their first deal ever. You know what I mean? The first deal they ever had that came from me. I did game shooting. You know what I'm saying? My management, all the shit that I was doing.
Management ratings.
Yeah, management ratings. Even to the day. But what I'm saying, and when we came with him, it was a major fight. Steve got us through the door. Had to go get a white boy and a Jew. To get us to the door.
I heard you say in the documentary that they didn't come get you when the Bagel?
Yeah. So we was on tour, and my partner who Winnebago was, who let us get it, was on the run.
Right. 12 years.
12 years. His wife name was Stacy. My wife name was Stacy. So when I registered the mobile home in my wife's name, they thought it was him, his wife. Feds hit us everywhere we go. We think it's just normal hip hop shit.
Right.
We hit Portland, they hit us. We going up through Oregon. We get all the paperwork. They took the motherfucking radiator cap off, took the motherfucker apart, stuck us in, I can't remember where we were for 3 days. They took the motherfucking, scanned it from the router to the tutor, found what they wanted on it, put it back together, gave it to us. I flew back home. When I fly home, we get hit. I get hit at home. They had 21 people. They think they got him. Anyway, make a long story short, he ended up turning himself in, take the case off all of us. He get life, right, for the drugs. Right. When that shit happened, my team is acting weird. So I'm looking at Steve, I'm looking at Nip, man, get a paperwork from Sony so they can see that we listen to all this shit. They acting weird. So, me, I'm still kind of like, hey, I'm hot, hot and heavy, but I'm like, I can't fuck with y'all. Right. So you never see me on the tour no more.
And that's when the problem was.
No problem never happened. Okay. We didn't have a problem.
Okay.
Wasn't nobody making no money.
Right.
It was no money. We never had a problem. I just left.
Right.
Then when I decided my son come home from college, he want to do music. Right. So I'm like, okay, when we get the equipment, we're going to put it somewhere where we can all get to it. Right. That's when they got upset. And he made the song. I don't rap.
That song never came out.
It did come out.
It did come out?
It did come out.
Okay.
It wasn't never pushed as a song, but it came out. And I don't rap, I scrap. And this is my neighborhood, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is my land. This is my piece of rock. I fought for this, nigga. I ain't gave this up. I'm still here every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it goes to what we was talking about. The documentary. Like her, like him, like you got a bunch of young niggas who only heard of Big U.
And then they only heard of that rumor too, that you and Nick had a problem.
We never had a problem up to that. And that problem
on the documentary, they actually the conspiracy theorists that Big U had something to do with that or whatever. That's why the first question I asked you was about the other shit. Someone to knock that out early, but now it's circling back. So continue.
Yeah, and so he made the diss song. We get into the altercation. We go to jail. When his brother get out, that 2 days later we meet at the African restaurant, because they're African.
Because they don't keep saying that there was an actual fight. There wasn't no fight.
I mean, come on, man, come on.
All right,
It'd take 5 or 6 of my little nephew to deal with me.
Right.
In the other doc, they say that I'm pretty good. I'm 54 and I still, demonstrate. But anyway, I love my kids. It's just a fact. Right. But it's over that night. It's over 2 days night. It don't go nothing. Right. Can't nobody really see me in my city, in my town. Right. Because I'm going to go myself if it come to that. Right. I don't need no nigga to do nothing for me. Right. Right. So we ain't got no beef. Right. Period. We never stopped talking. Right. We didn't go 2 days with nothing. Right. We didn't have nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Right. All the way up until he signed that deal with Atlantic Records. He called me and said, let's go. Celebrate. Where the fuck is the beef at? Right. He fly me to New York. Right. I'm in the fucking video. Right. I'm in his video. What is it? I ain't no rap niggas. The first song off the Victory Lap. Right. I am the nigga who promoted Victory Lap on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All these weirdos who told me who became Nipsey fans, they weren't promoting this shit. Right. I'm the one promoting that. Right. I went and did 5 days in the studio recording for the mixtape that was going to come out after that. Let's go. You don't hear me though. So where are these rumors coming from? Wow. It's just niggas using his name and his death to make some money. Wow. And then the rest of the ignorant people falling off of that. You know what I mean? How you gonna have that and you got a man in jail but still in? Then it was a conspiracy. What the fuck is a conspiracy? Yeah, they clearly had a conversation. They clearly was beefing. They clearly grew up together. And it's a nigga I never seen before. I never met him.
Really?
No, I ain't never met City. You gotta remember, we at any given time, we may have 1,500 homies throughout this on the streets. maybe be 5,000 or 6,000. But if you got 15, I don't know all these young niggas. I'm 54. I don't know what niggas that's 25, 26, 27. That ain't my squad. You know what I mean, nigga? I don't know these youngsters. Like, I don't know all the youngsters in New York. I don't know all niggas in Atlanta. But I still get they shit, though. You know what I'm saying? I have never met the kid. Never met it. But you know what? You put the shit at Big U table. Why don't you go put it at the table of the motherfuckers who know it? Facts. Put it at the motherfucking table with the people who ran with him. And put it at the table of the motherfuckers who got Nipsey's bag now. Put it at the table who ran the motherfuckers trying to shift the shit to somewhere else. Facts. Or put it at my table. I ain't got no bag. Facts. I had nothing to gain. He was my nigga. He came to get me. And he like, and I asked him, I said, man, listen, no, we're going to do, man. I don't want to be back in no more bullshit. We said, man, nigga, you going to be you, huh? You going to do what you going to do. We're going to go take over. And I'm like, all right, cool. My nigga came and got me. You see what I'm saying? And who gave him his only award? Living. How we beefing? That's right. Called him. I was doing an award show. Nip, I'm finna honor you. I'm the one who gave him that.
But they got to move you.
They got
you have to understand, like, that's the whole thing about all of this. They have to move you out the way. Even with all of them, you're never going to hear nothing about me. These was all stars before I ever touched them if you let them tell it. Right. They're not telling their story of being homeless and not having shit and too tight clothes and all that.
With you, I'm sorry to cut you off. But with
sounds like Big U got a point right there, you know what I'm saying? Why would he own something to gain, you know what I'm saying, if he ain't getting paid? Well, we think it's more like police, you know what I'm saying, some type of sleeper shit, but remember, the city wanted that piece of land for a long time, you know, so they could do what they want to do with it. So there's a lot of shit in play, you know. This whole gentrification bullshit that's going on, right? So I don't know anybody that already said Big U has something to do with it, because I don't know what Big U or would Big U have something to do with something like that. But to me, it don't sound like that. Because remember, like you said, we gotta look at everybody. You know what I'm saying? But he said if he spoke to the dude, you know, this, that, and the third, why everybody coming to me? Why can't he just say it was just from what he seen, it was a misunderstanding and blah blah blah? Or is he automatically saying that it's somebody else? It could be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, it is what it is. Let's continue.
But you said the only artist that bothered you was French. Like after things separated.
Well, French ain't really the only person. Like honestly, all of them in a way, because I did a lot. You understand what I'm saying? I messed up a lot of relationships protecting them because I stood by them. And let's be clear, I don't regret it. Because if I'm with you, I'm with you. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes it go like that. But I protected you. I fought protecting you, making sure that you was good. Then you turned on me. And here's the thing. Here's my story. Okay? I took puppies and turned them into vicious animals. They turned around and left me and became leashed by someone else. Okay? That's what I said. But then the same people that I'm beefing with are the people. We gotta connect the mics again. The same people that I went in. The mic say no. The mic say no.
I don't hear shit. So.
That's all right. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Very drunk.
The same people that I'm getting in a beef with are the people that you went up underneath.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, for them, I'm protecting you. Then on top of that, you turned around and you went into agreement with stuff. And I say you went into agreement, you might have didn't say anything, but you said a lot when you didn't say nothing.
Right. Hold on. Right there. Yeah. When that's how I feel. All these lame ass niggas, at least he was saying this old fuck shit. By not saying nothing, I feel like you was really saying something.
You said something.
A whole lot of them. And I'm gonna say his family could have came out and said ain't no goddamn way had nothing to do with this shit.
Right.
So I got an interview asking me today, where's my relationship with the family? Fuck that. I don't have one. I don't want one. Because they could have came out and said what happened and shut a lot of shit down. But they let my family go through the bullshit dealing with all this shit. My kids at school.
Actually, really? I
didn't know that. My son is at college, bro. My son is at college playing ball. His coaches had to call him in. Like, me and senior daddy had some, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it doesn't only trickle to you.
I didn't know
like,
that.
the thing that was so ill, like, even with my son, like my son that committed suicide, one of the things that he couldn't stand this industry. He watched it destroy his family. He watched it destroy the friends. They lost so many people. But the biggest thing was that he used to always tell me he couldn't be here not being able to see to protect me. Watching the things that people say and what they did, he know what I did. Every one of them know what I did for them. Right. Every one of them know what I went up against for them. They all know that. And that's the part that you ain't never had to say nothing because I don't use your name to move forward. You don't need to drink no goddamn more. Drink chant the shit out. Fucking knocking over the mic. You knocking over the shit. And now, don't gotta bring you back to the fucking chair.
Don't help me out.
Don't show our family traits. That's why I'm on OJ. Okay? So, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, y'all. But I'm just saying that you don't understand that it's a trickle effect. It's a trickle effect. It's a trickle effect to a lot of people. There are other people that's affected by the things that you've done. So when they sit there, like even for my kids, like with Walker, this shit didn't mean anything to him. He grew up in this shit. So when he loved you because he's taught that. Loyalty is everything. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. We like Chucky, we like Prince to the end. And even every one of them, you don't see no interviews with me putting their business out there in the street. You understand what I'm saying? When all the shit was going down, Gucci, they called me for a whole bunch of stuff. I could write a whole freaking book, best #1 seller, and have you when you can't walk the streets, period. I could put that out there, all of them. Keeping it real.
I could too.
Who was that?
Why you fucking with me?
Yeah, it's me that I can do to you.
Some shit that's gonna hurt a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, a lot of people, not just them. But even people that they run with,
some shit that niggas is gonna be like, oh my God.
They gonna wake up to some shit.
I can't believe he did.
Yeah, even the shit that you're doing now, what you fail to realize, the entourages and the people that's around them, nigga, I know your business. It's people that's coming back to me, just telling me stuff because they think I want to hear it. Yeah. And it's like, why are you telling me that? Well, yo, we cool. We can't be cool because you cool with them. You hanging out with them. You right there with them. You telling them all their fucking business. So who's to say you ain't gonna tell mine? I don't trust you. See, I pay attention to that, how you run your mouth. If you say you fuck with me, then fuck with me. But if you start spilling some ill shit about me, nigga, I know you don't care nothing about me, and I'm gonna pay attention to you. I'm definitely paying attention to you, and I'm not gonna give you that opportunity to come get me. Because I'm already watching you to get you already.
But we gotta stay solid though. This is the problem.
Facts.
We gotta stay solid and stay to the code.
Right.
But these other lanes don't get to stay solid.
You're not gonna change it. You're not gonna change it.
You know, and that's the difference between like I said, when I chose the people, when we choose them, I got it with the motherfuckers who can tell the story. Right. And me and her was talking today on the way up here. And we got such a some shit that she said to me, I had a problem with my own sons. You know what I'm saying? Because these niggas grow up in my neighborhood. They believe shit too. Right. And you know, kids only know what they hear and then they only gonna go by what their problem was. And my daddy ain't the best motherfucker in the world. Right. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, because who daddy is until you become a daddy. Right. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Right. When you become a daddy and you got to deal with the baby mama and the kids and all that drama, then you going to be like, my pops was the best motherfucker in the world. Right. But to get to that, me and these niggas done beat. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right.
That's a hurting thing. That shit
crazy.
When other people come in here and do something, and Larry, I'm gonna keep it 100 and put it right out here. I tell anybody, I didn't know every fucking thing. I know how to be a mother. Okay, I'm a nurturer. That's one thing I know, and I know how to take care of my nigga. I know how to do that. You understand what I'm saying? I know how to wear multiple hats. I know how to do shit other than throw my legs in the air. I could cook, I could clean, I could bring that money up in there. I could take care of you. Okay, I cook my goddamn ass off my legs. Okay, I cook. Wait till you get there. Wait till you get there. I cook.
I can't. She broke me out. She the best cook in the family.
Okay, I cook. So I know how to do all of these things because even though when I was a kid and doing all the things, my grandmother made me double and get here. I had to go in that kitchen and I had to walk. And she used to tell me, it's going to come a time that you're going to have to do more than throw your legs up in the air. You're going to have to keep them home. You're going to have to learn how to keep this bed clean. You're going to have to know how to fill his stomach up. Them niggas is coming home. I don't care who you get for 2 seconds. I can't miss without a measure. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't do no digging. I don't do none of that shit. And I know you got to come home and That's real shit. You don't care about that. I'm in pockets. I'm digging in pockets. I ain't checking these telephones. I ain't going through all that shit. Just make sure, nigga, when I go outside, they laughing with me and not at me. Because then we gonna have a problem. It becomes something totally different. You understand? But these are things that I know. When you come in my household and you start doing all this fuck shit, that's what this game became. I ain't never told nobody I was their goddamn manager. They made me a manager. These people came to me because they needed help. They was in trouble in the streets. They couldn't get their shit through. I made that happen. Period. Wow. And you now, everybody else want to run around and gain the credit for what I did.
Hip-hop won't cover it.
Okay? Y'all want to gain credit. Y'all claiming all of this shit that y'all did. It's more than those artists. There's producers. There's the sound of this game, period. Trap, I am the fucking trap queen. Period. Yes. They can say whatever. And that shit is that self-proclaimed shit, you gonna give me mine. See, I already took mine. I don't need the validation from you. While they running around here needing to talk and be all on Grand Street, all that, I don't need none of that shit. My actions speak.
Hey, look, let me tell you.
Period.
When I was coming to do this, right? So I got to do research on everybody. We got the table. We putting the doc together. And to a T, I don't know where to put her. Is it New York, Atlanta, every nigga? T.I. I don't know how she know how T.I. feel about it. Right. You got to do it. Right. She the one.
I respect that, because like even everything that was going on, like real recognize real, and the street codes are the street codes, and I'm governed by that. I'm gonna keep it 100. I am concrete, because that's what it raised me, and I'm 100 with that. And I tell them niggas like, nigga, I respect what you're doing, but you just know what side I'm on. Don't make me choose, because you won't win. And that's just real shit. That's how I am. If I'm with you, I'm with you. We gonna be chucking. We friends to the end. I'm a ride, I'm a die to my word is my bond. I will die for my word. And that's just real shit.
Let's plug the show real quick, right? So you said
if you understand Deb's demeanor and the way she's talking, she's gangster as fuck. She knows what
she's talking. You had a chance. FX came to you and they said
no. How this show got Jimmy Chris came to me. He's a partner of mine. He's a Paru. Out of Compton. Okay. Came to me to do the show. He wanted to do it with Suge, Wack, and a couple more people. Right. They had their little situations. He ended up, and because he had done something for me a while ago, I did it. And I said, but it got to go this way. You know what I mean? And then we got to go with the right people. And we started mulling over the story 4 years ago. Wow. 4 years ago, turned down by 40 different entities. Wow. Yes. So we shot the pilot. I got T.I. and Wiz to get on it. Nobody understood who the fuck Big U. No, that all came later.
Okay, y'all big.
That didn't come later until we start moving. Nobody understood who Big U was.
They didn't understand that. They didn't want to touch it at first.
They didn't. Then 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something happened. I can't remember what made them start seeing my name in the industry. Not when Nipton died. And then that's how Lightbox, another European company, came to the table. We had a couple of meetings. They was like, okay, we understand who Big U is, but who else can you bring to the table? So then I'm like, only person that hand I know offhand is, well, I got Trick. Okay, we're gonna research. Oh, I got Haitian Jack. Then like, we gotta get a female. And I'm like, let's go get, what's her name that do the show with you? Mona Scott. Let's go get Mona Scott. Then they're like, nah. And then the whole world starts saying Deborah Hammond. What's the name? Mrs. Bibby, the Supreme Team. Go get the Supreme Team, because that's me. I need to have me on the East Coast, because it won't look right if it look like, then it looks like Big U is. I need the Supreme Team. So when I heard the Supreme Team, I don't know. They brothers and sisters. I had no clue, but I want to meet Bimmy, and they tell me, you already know Bimmy. You heard Bimmy throughout the industry. And now my homies like, hey, he probably don't recognize because he ain't big. He a little dude. And I'm just like, damn, I know him, like, but I want to re-meet him because I already got his story now. So now I got her story, and then I already know his story. It's my brother. So her story just is like amazing. But now I'm scared, is she gonna tell it? So now we like, damn. Then I go sit down with Jay Prince. I sit down with a couple of different homies. I sit down with a lot of people.
Yeah,
we had a lot of
I
names.
thought Jay Prince was gonna be. I love Jay Prince.
We had sit down with Jay Prince.
That's another season, you guys.
I love Jay Prince.
When we come back, we're gonna do Jay. But Jay was doing a documentary already, like Haitian Jack was already doing a documentary. So I had to talk Haitian Jack in. I need you for this one. Jack like, nah. And then Jay, I got you, bro, but I'm only gonna be able to give you so much. And what he was only able to give us would not fit in the story of how we wanted to tell it, because he was going to talk about how me and him first, when I first went to prison, was talking about doing Laquan and then bringing corruption on and all that stuff, and under him and dealing with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's the story that's going to come out. And then with S-Mac and all of them. So we ended up telling this story. And it's just like, it was like say, we started shooting it. It took us 2 years to get to this point. And she became like her story to me affected my wife, my daughter. You know when you're telling a story and you letting your kids see it? And my daughter's like, I just want to meet Dad. She said, all of y'all stories are regular, but hers is, but it was my daughter who I felt like, damn, she get to see somebody who ain't taking their clothes off. I ain't never watched Love and Hip Hop. That's what it's called, the show. I never watched Love and Hip Hop.
I watched every episode, don't worry about it.
I ain't never watched. I don't watch none. Because I used to watch growing up hip hop. But my daughter, bro, my daughter, and I let my homegirl see it. They was like, dead at me. Dead. And I was like, man, we got to get more out of her. More out of her. She wouldn't give a shit
at first.
We still ain't getting it.
Wow.
We still getting more right now. I'm like,
I'm gonna be honest, the heroin powder shit was so legendary. That was it. I was like, that's the most gangster story I've ever heard. Like, that's how much heroin is around you. You abuse it with baby powder. Like that.
Yeah. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nori. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of bullshit going on these streets, you know. I mean, Nipsey didn't deserve that at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he could have said it was justice for Nip. But I know all these stories are something to be. You could learn some shit from them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should go ahead and check out that hip hop. Hip hop uncensored. Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check it out myself. Let's see what's really good out there. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of bullshit. Now T.I. and Tiny's being charged all over the country in different states. So that's some crazy shit, you know? A lot of people coming forward with all the sexual deviancy. You know? It's just kind of crazy, you know? Only got my son going at it with whack. You know what I'm saying? My son ain't no coon or nothing like that. Whack is a coon still, but oh my whack be knocking on white boys, so you can't really call him a coon still, you know. He walked out too white, but that shit got to his head and he started going off on this YouTube shit, man. He knows how to go viral though, you know. Well, you should use that. Just talking boys to say some real shit. And sometimes he says some real shit. I don't know. No, all I'm saying is the boy Whack and Big U spoke foul of Dipsy. So it's a lot of crazy shit. A lot of cool shit, you know. All this 6ix9ine going back and forth with cats online. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trolling everybody like he's really about that life. Like, I don't understand it, man. You're taunting people and everything like that. And the sad part about it is if he gets beat up, he's still gonna run his mouth. But he gonna make sure he don't get himself put in a position to get beat up. So he's running his mouth. Like, you know, the face stomped out, everything, you know. That's crazy. What else you got? You got did I forget any coons as I go along? I mean, there's a lot of cool shit going on, man. You know? What I think is if Meek Mill or punch 6ix9ine in the mouth, they're gonna be going off like this, like you on social media and all that, you know? It'll be a different story altogether. What's this publicity for a new rapper coming up? You got only 3 months in jail? He punched 6ix9ine in the mouth hard, like a real fucking hard one. Like, wow. Guy is scared he might jump on you, but at least you getting one stiff one to the head, to his temple or to his fucking jaw. Still no. So yeah, man, I'm just looking at it like the game needs to be sold, not to be told, right? So we have to stop these internet antics. Jay-Z sold some more liquor, you know?
Huge stars.
So he decided to show his face. So he sold some more liquor. You know? So shout out to him. The only one really keeping it real to me, man, is Dame Dash, man. Dame Dash is doing his thing. Shout out to Dame, you know? Oh, shout out to Bobby Schmurder, too, you know? On RIP Bunny Wailer, man. He died. Was it yesterday? Crazy. He was like the architect of Roots right here. You know?
It's my honor to welcome the legendary Dame Dash to Off the Record. Dame, thank you for being with us today. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you. And especially how this generation is
and that intimidates people too. That
Yeah.
intimidates people, I feel like, of being told the
Fake
truth.
people, dishonest people.
Yeah.
Yeah, an honest person is always going to make a dishonest person uncomfortable.
Right.
You know,
Right.
especially when a dishonest person is pretending they're on for a living.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, someone that pretends they're tough when someone really tough walks in the room. They're just going to
Exactly.
be uncomfortable because they feel inadequate.
And was that a way for you to
because they're
also
pretending to be something they're not?
right? Was that also a way for you to personally, not like expose, but when you're in the industry, you're able to now see exactly, okay, I know because how I'm coming at you, you're a dishonest person. I shouldn't be trusting you. Could you then immediately point them out just based out there reacting to what you're saying as well?
Absolutely. Flags all over the place.
Yep.
You know, you can tell a rapist, you can tell us a white supremacist, you can tell a black person that believes that white ice is colder off top.
Right.
You can tell a person that wants to put in, you know, that as opposed to take over.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the guy that, you know, it's a different mentality. When a slave is talking to a master, the conversation is different. When a soldier is talking to a general, the conversation is different. It's a different language. It's a different understanding.
Tell them, Dave.
Sometimes because there's people that call themselves bosses, but there's different kinds of bosses, right? There's the kind that, you know, they know how to collect a check from an infrastructure that, you know, cuts them and makes the money and gives them maybe a percentage of it. Then there's the kind of boss that actually makes the money and cuts the check to the person that pretends to be the boss that gets the money from the infrastructure that's making money, like, you know, get paid a fee.
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm the kind of boss that wants to get a company profitable. I don't want to just get paid by another company. I want to be the company. To me, getting a company to be sustainable, then profitable, and have a multiple boss. You know, but it's, again, I'm not discrediting someone that might just get a royalty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a different kind of boss. It's a different kind of respect. You know, it's like sometimes I'd have conversations with legends for certain things, and they'd be like, yo, how come certain people get more credit? And how come we're not respected by certain kinds of musicians? I'd be like, you don't play an instrument.
Yeah.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a different respect level than like someone that plays an instrument is gonna. I don't care how many records you sell, they're still not gonna look at you as bona fide legit unless you can play an instrument and perform live. If you're performing over a track, even if you sold 10 million records, in certain worlds you still won't be respected. Position, or position won't consider you one.
Yeah.
Right.
So Dame, I heard
It's real businessmen in this statement.
Yeah. So, Dame, I heard you say that anyone who works for you, they have to have their own dream as well, which I thought was dope. How important is a team to a boss's success, and how do you build a solid team?
A lot of editing. It's everything because you know it's hard to do everything on your own.
Yeah.
And you want people to have understanding and be on the same sheet of paper. But at the end of the day, if someone's not going to fight for themselves, there's no way they're going to fight for you.
Right.
So if you don't have a dream, And again, I'm a person that says, yo, I don't want people to work for me. I don't believe that having a job, long term is, in the best interest of you or your family. So I'm not going to have anybody work for me all day and build my dream and not have anything to pass to theirs.
Yeah.
Just karmically, it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So leading by example, I would be, I wouldn't be practicing what I'm preaching, letting somebody do that. So you have to have a dream that you can fight for that's yours. So I know you're fighting honestly for mine.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to teach you how to be independent and show you the right way. I'm not going to mislead you and take all of your skills and just use them for my stuff. I just don't think it's right.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make partners. I don't like employees.
Yeah. Is that why you've wanted, you probably keep your circle so small though, because that's so hard to come by these days too.
Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of editing.
Yeah.
A lot of people pretend they want the dream, but when it gets given to them or the opportunity, it's like I give you a lotto ticket and you want me to cash it for you. I got to convince you to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. So, Dave, one thing I've always admired about you is how fearless and assertive you are in business. So, it never seemed like you were passive about anything that you felt wasn't right. So because to the average person walking into those rooms, especially if you're, one of the few people of color in those rooms, that might get intimidating. You know what I mean? And so there's big money on the table. There's contracts with all this misleading verbiage, and you don't know if these people are snakes and the whole nine. Was there any situation in business where you didn't feel as confident or like you didn't know enough? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Well, I never think I know enough, but I've never been intimidated by any conversation as it relates to business ever.
Mm-hmm.
I know that when I start a business, I've just started. I don't have experience in it.
Yeah.
So, and then also the way I usually approach it is usually a little unorthodox. So there's never any traditional way that I'm dealing with something. So I'm always putting myself in a place, let's say, uncomfortable because I'm not used to it. But that's what comes with, starting something the first time.
Yeah.
The second and third, I've never been intimidated by anyone. I always look forward to the smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just what I want. It's not you try to play me because I'm black. I want you to try that.
Exactly.
I want you to think smarter than me, and I know I'm so much smarter than you.
Right.
And probably could slap your nose off your face. You know what I'm saying? So I know, it's like I'm brains and brawn. At least, the brawn is just when I have to be to protect myself. But the brain is what they don't anticipate. Pause. They must be able to brain in the brawn.
Yeah. When you're in those meetings too, and you felt like you haven't, there's things you could learn. Are you never afraid also to like ask the why questions or get more info?
I always ask the why questions.
Right.
I ask questions all day.
Right. Yeah.
I'm very transparent. I never pretend I'm smarter than I am.
Right.
See, the one thing you have to understand is when you're stupid, you cannot pretend you're smart in a smart room. But when you're smart, you can pretend you're stupid.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Dame, we know that there's this political game that people play in business where they won't speak on certain negative things that happen because they don't want to accept, because they don't want to offend their political ties and the powers that be. You've always spoken out against the so-called power players, in the game from day one. We've seen, Kanye do it, this past year. But most of them are established people already. Do you think that it would be wise for someone to build up value and create leverage for themselves before they speak out? Or, someone who's considered brand new in any industry speak out against what they feel?
No. You got to take the industry, bro. I never tried to fit in. I don't give a fuck about those industries. And these so-called power players, I don't think they're power players.
Yeah.
I think they're pretending to be power players. I speak to them that way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If they were power players, they wouldn't be running behind pennies and young people's money and leveraging them. They're like shrimps in the ocean. They're scavengers that are pretending they're bigger than they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why would I want to fit into a game if I'm not playing that game? I'm going to be the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Like what I'm monetizing is my honesty, my actual opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to change my opinion to be somebody else. You're not a rock star if you do that. You become a pop star when you do what people want.
Yeah.
I'm a rock star. I don't really give a. I'm not there to fit in. I'm there to get what I need to get on. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure
there to be around.
I'm sure you have people all day trying to tell you what they think you should do too, and you're probably just I'm not doing that shit. I'm not on that at all.
Well, back about 15 years ago, yeah, but now.
They know.
I come outside.
Right.
Like those are people I choose not to deal with. It's a life that I don't even understand.
Right.
When I think back about it, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. It's almost like hustling to me. Like, you know, when I was on the street, it's just as like far removed to me. And in my rear view, I don't deal with anyone I don't want to. And I do keep myself, I might have someone around me that's going to tell me what to do or how to do it. They've done it before and done it better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I do look for people to give me advice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I've heard you say a couple times that you're a time traveler. So you'll go 10 years ahead in the future to see how you want to live and come back to present day and make the moves now to live how you want to live then. What investments and moves are you making now to live how you want to live 10 years from now?
Well, you see it. It's the investment in the residual income of the content. So that's the reason why everyone's just launching apps. And, you know, it's the same app I've been trying to tell everybody to launch for years. Now I'm relaunching an app that actually has the ability to sell things. And it's a new business model. It's a new thing. I don't know why no one's doing it. So I'm always going to be a bit 10 years ahead of the game. So, yeah, the things I look into right now is the content, the beginning, middle, and end, you know, being able to make the books and anything that gives residual income from my family, that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But 100%. You gotta remember, like, I'm a founder. I'm not a person that buys and fires in a company. I have to build the company from ground up, invest in it, lose money until it makes money. And that takes a different kind of breed. You know, it's a game I like to play and a game I like to do. And I'm not trying to hustle on a crowded block. So I gotta look to the future. I'm not trying to fit in after everybody else is fitting in. Pause. I don't want to be 2 times a trades. I like to be dimes and 20s. I like to be the winner. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So I got to be the first person on the block so I can sell it and put it out anywhere I want, stand out, and, you know, I can dictate the narrative. And that's what I've actually been doing.
Damn, have you ever...
I've been waiting for Disney to catch up. I've been waiting for that.
Right.
Now I have to do it. I have to pay. They have to pay billions of dollars to do that shit. I got to watch them make the mistakes and be able to make and do it the right way.
Exactly.
Original programming all day long. But I make the music. I make the clothes. I make the visual. I direct that shit. I act in that shit. I pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I distribute that shit. I can do it pause from the rooter to the tutor.
I love it.
Hey, yo, like your pause game is so serious,
It's so
it's crazy, man. It's
You made it up.
I know. Yeah,
I
you
fucking love
did.
it.
Dame, have you ever felt like sometimes you may have spread yourself too thin, like with everything that you do?
I mean, there's times I feel like I need to focus. Because like my plans, my big schemes are like they have to form together like Voltron. So in order to like launch an app, I gotta make the movie, I gotta make the app, I gotta direct the movie, damn near write the movie, I gotta act in the movie, I gotta pay everybody, you know, I gotta dress everybody, I gotta make the music. But it all comes together and I have one product. So it's about prioritizing my focus. And also completion is important. You know, you can start something and not finish it. It feels good doing it, but it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think therapeutically is important to me. And when the day I finish something is the day I can start something new.
Right.
But completion is everything.
Are there days with you having so much done, but also being as successful as you are? Are there still days you get up, you're like, fuck, I know I have to do this to get to here, to get to here, to do this, to do this. Is it still overwhelming at all?
No. I mean, being an entrepreneur is like these problems aren't problems. They're part of the game. So, you know, it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna complain, it's happening. I already know it. So it's like, it's always, for business, it has to get a little dark before it gets bright, or else it's not a good business. It's not gonna be sustainable.
So Dame,
fast money doesn't temporary. So you know, like if you're gonna get into a fight, a championship match, and you know you're gonna fight 12 rounds, you're gonna cry every time you get punched. You know you're gonna get punched. If you get knocked down, you know it's your job publicly to get back up and fuck some shit up. You know, but at the end of the day, you're not like, why me, or worried about it. You actually know it. I wake up in the morning looking for my problems that are considered problems, because as a boss, my job is to fix problems. My job is to untie knots, not to be happy and celebrate all day. The W, to turn the loss into a learning experience until it's a W, a win.
That's a gem right there. Dame, so obviously, you know, we're in a weird time right now, but you grew up in Harlem in the 70s and 80s, and you were able to use, the money that you made to make investments, start companies, and eventually, turn into the mogul that you are now. If you grew up in today's generation with no money, starting at zero, what would be your game plan to become wealthy? Because a lot of people are out here confused. It's very confusing times for a lot of people. So what would you do?
Buy a T-shirt for $5 and sell it for 20.
There you go.
Okay. Principle as it is for drugs.
That's kind of a crap block though right now too, because a lot of people do that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people do that.
Yeah, well, that's what I would do until I have enough.
Yeah,
you know, I just have to make sure my T-shirt is the best. And again, I'm not saying a T-shirt can buy anything. You can buy socks. You can, I make socks. They cost $7 to make. I sell them for $20.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But I have to buy so much of it that they cost that much. But my point is, there's always a flip that you can do.
Yeah,
and it's easy. Like right now, if you're like young and you're broke, you can do some more shit on Amazon and make some money. Just it's ways to make bread.
Right. Yeah.
A dollar.
Right. Yeah.
So everyone is like figuring out the Uber model or the Airbnb model. It's how to make as much money as you can without putting up a dollar. Yeah. You just gotta focus. You have to think, and you have to use Google. You know what I'm saying? And you'll get every answer to every question that you have.
Right. Do you buy stocks? Are you in the stocks?
I just hit Google. I find it like that.
Yeah. Like, Dan, do you invest in stocks and all that? No,
not really. No. I invest in some, here and there. Yeah. But I invest in me more.
Word. Right. Okay.
I ain't got time to be looking at shit and be worried about it. I can't be like, I know it's a good game and all that.
Yeah.
But for that kind of focus on, I have to be in control. Yeah. I have control issues. I don't like betting on someone else's business acumen. And I like betting on my own.
Dan, touching on that business stuff, do you think now, in your eyes, being such a serial mogul and entrepreneur, do you feel like now, instead of complaining, there's more ways to get rich, there's more ways for success too?
Fuck yeah. There's so many ways to make money.
Yeah.
But you have to be consistent, you have to be first, and you have to be fearless.
Yeah.
And you can't anticipate it coming overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight money is illegal money usually. So you have to build a brand. You have to lose before you gain.
Yeah.
And sometimes sweat equity is the loss. You don't sleep until you gotta go.
Right.
But if you really have a dream, what the fuck? When you have a dream while you're awake, you live in your dream. While you sleep, you live in your dream.
Yeah.
All day long. It should be a dream. It's beautiful. I'm living my dream. So anything that's considered a problem is a dream that it is a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my level of problems are dreams for most people. So I'm gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
And people go, I wish I had your problem. I'm like, these aren't problems.
Yeah.
As long as I'm healthy, as long as I'm not in jail, frustration doesn't bother me like that. Or process. I understand process. There's levels to this shit.
Right.
100%.
And that whole thing with the flip, like it seems like the structure of the game hasn't changed. There's just more ways to do it now than before. The structure and formula is the same. And digitally, exactly. The formula is there.
I can be in 30 places in one day and have 30 conversations in 30 different states and not leave my house. And they're just as effective.
Right.
And not have to pay for a hotel or for gas or for a jet or for all the shit or going to the mall or being bored and all the things I can't do while I travel.
Right.
It's so much to do
right
now because of all the technology that's there.
Yeah. So Dan, in a lot of Black households, we aren't taught financial literacy, for the most part. So obviously, yes. So
why do you think they don't teach financial literacy in school? Why do you think they don't teach you what to do when you have a lot of money in school?
Yeah.
Because they're not teaching you to make a lot of money.
Exactly.
So what people don't understand is having money is a business within itself. If you don't know what to do with a lot of money, you will end up in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
And you see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
You don't know when to pay taxes. You don't know what capital gains is.
Exactly.
You don't know what quarters are. You don't know any of that shit. And they don't teach you that, and you're held accountable regardless.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get jammed up just because they didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So my first million, even though it was rather young, I ended up in a lot of trouble because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or even where to put it. Taxes.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So for a lot of us,
You know what I'm saying? Having a dormant business costs money.
Exactly. Yeah. So, for a lot of us, like you said, No one talked to us about cash flow and credit and leverage and how to create passive income and buy assets and all the other stuff. But you seem like you had a knack for that at a young age. Did anyone plant those seeds in you early? Like, how did you even, learn all of that? Was that just through trial and error?
I was a drug dealer, bro.
Right. There you go.
Right.
Hey, I guess that's
what taught me everything about business, marketing, branding. I'm not suggesting anyone do it.
Right.
When I was young, I did it and was like, oh, I could do this in regular business.
Right.
But I learned all of that from, and the reason why I'm so fearless is I used to do this with the recourse being death or jail. That was this is no death or jail.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with killers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or at least, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, Dave, I assume that you are familiar with Dr. Claude Anderson's book and concept Powernomics, right? Powernomics. Okay. Well, basically, I haven't, read his book yet, but I've seen a lot of his interviews, and I understand the general concept. Kanye, was talking about it. He was basically saying that the pathway for people of color and then Black people to kind of like move up in the world is to really just not everything is a race issue, but really we need to focus on financial literacy, and then but there tends to be super liberal perspective amongst Black people and minorities that have like an anti-capitalism mindset, and I think that anti-capitalist mindset it might lead us down the wrong path because we need to embrace it and get ours and build legacies that we can pass down and stop relying on the government and everything else. What is your take on that?
I mean, we have to realize that we're the boss, and that like my son already has a company. My son already sells his own socks.
There you go. Yep.
He's never going to know life without having his own company. It's going to be his normal.
Right.
So, it's our patterns and the program to believe is normal, what we accept. So, it should not be normal to not have your own business.
Where can people purchase those socks?
To do by people. It should not be normal to be always trying to just survive.
Right.
Because it's hard to play chess when you're always playing checkers to eat and breathe.
Right.
But the way the patterns and the way it seems like school and the whole nine, it's meant to put a bunch of debt on you so that you always are behind the 8 ball, so that you can't be strategic about your future.
Where can people purchase your son's stocks?
On the baby, Rocky. It's on Baby Dusco now, right? It's up.
Baby Dusco.
You already said it. Baby
Dusco clothing.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Put that on the screen.
Oh, absolutely. Baby Dusco clothing.com.
If you want, I could play the commercial for the new app, the relaunch. I just put that out today.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah, for sure.
That sounds epic. 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 Boom! We in the room. Yeah. That sounds epic. 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 We in the room.
So,
So, absolutely, with the app coming out, do you guys have a date for that for the relaunch?
The 11th of February.
February 11th.
And not only am I launching that, I'm launching over the air 24-hour television in Atlanta, LA, and Charleston. And we also just finished, we're launching a magazine called Dusco.
Nice.
And, that during COVID, I've made like 3-4 movies, documentaries, magazines, all type of shit.
Is the magazine going to be in print?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, magazines. Well,
I have a special issue. Yeah. And this particular one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put it out. This is one I did on Kanye's man. Okay. I did one. That's a special issue. But I'm launching with the issue, a different issue. Yeah, but, I gotta get it printed up. I made samples to show them.
I feel like magazines are turning into like vinyls. You know how like vinyls are, cool collectible items. Yeah.
Anything physical is like vinyl.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
So it'll be available digital, and it'll be available on but also on the app. It comes to life as well.
Right.
It's an experience on the app.
How long did it take?
Version of it is very, I always got the content, huh?
Yeah. How long did it take to really develop and create that app too?
The app?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been developing it for fucking 15 years.
Right.
But developing an app sucks because of the maintenance and shit. And like Vimeo, I write Vimeo initially, but I didn't like the way Vimeo was treating me. I couldn't get the data. They were basically dickheads. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Vimeo. But right now, I liked them before, but they really, so, it pushed me to make it. I was always using them until I could make it. So I was like, yo, why can't I sell nothing on here? I need to be able to sell something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a commercial to sell something. It's like, my shit is like a high-end home shop. Right. Watching it, you can buy it. So these are Dusco blanks there.
Okay. Yeah.
Dusco blanks.
Nice.
So, if I put this on the thing, and you're looking at me in the interview, you press the button, you can buy it right there.
Yeah.
And you can buy books and you can buy music.
Right.
And so on and so forth. Magazine.
Yeah.
And then it's 24 hours. Digitally it's playing 24 hours as well with commercials. But before the paywall, but after the paywall subscription. But then I'm gonna be having a network DTV playing.
That's right.
And on cable. And I mean, I'm really. I always wanted a television network. I know nobody's gonna hire me to do it, so I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
Both ways, and I did it.
Yeah.
All original programming, movies. It's fun. I get to be creative.
Right. Yeah, I'm subscribing to that today.
100%. I'm getting that Dusco. I'm sorry, the Poppington University. Oh my God, that hoodie's so fucking fire, dude.
So damn. So I can't. We're asking you a lot of questions about business. I am, we're both hip hop heads. I just have like a few, just like hip hop questions. So, but Dame, so obviously you've had an impact on the culture from, since the moment that you walked in, that you came in until now. Like, even to this day, you still have rappers still shouting you out to this day, like in 2020, 2021 on their records. Are you still are you aware of like rappers currently still shouting you out? Like, are you aware of that? Of that? I'm just curious. You are? Yeah, because yeah.
I've been watching. I always hear it because my daughters and my kids send it to me.
Right. Yeah.
Or young people always send it to me. But lately, because I'm getting back into, I'm in the TV business. I've been watching BET Jams, Revolt, BET Soul.
Yeah.
So I see all of the records, and I'm hyped. I just start on my kid.
Yeah, right. So damn, yeah.
I am 50.
Yeah.
That's why I refuse to dye my beard. I want you to know I'm 50.
Exactly. You know.
I'm not trying to look young.
Get older and get better.
I'm just trying to look good.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm violent.
Right. Yeah. I like that. So I heard you say before in other interviews that you're the blueprint of what you want the culture to ultimately be at some point, from being a boss to opening up art galleries around the world and expanding our minds and interests and creating opportunities for each other and sticking with each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that the culture is headed in that direction now?
Dame is on point with it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't trying to be like Dame, 100% independent, doing the damn thing, I don't know, man. But he took a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, A lot of these rappers and things be doing it big now, so you gotta respect. Gotta respect the man that's contact, you know what I'm saying? Do it twice. But I'm gonna go out with this one right here. Right neighborhood nip.
You're online searching for tight beats, and that's a huge mistake. Let me.
We was hustling, yeah, you know, so it was a step back to want to pursue music. It was something that I had to really believe in to pursue it, because it was actually taking a back seat.
Nothing beat hard work. Nothing beat like willpower. When you determine that's your mind or something, you serious about it and you working toward it. So that would be my own advice to anybody. Just, you know, real talk. Yeah, you know, raise your level with it, take it to that level.
Man, I just believe in ownership. Yeah, you know what I mean? I believe in, you know, investing in yourself. When you make money, you know, you can easily go a lot of places. But I just feel like, you know, the foundation should be strong. My mentality when I do start to be like, yeah, this is a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, that's what it's supposed to feel like. If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness. That's, you know, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working toward. So I'm like, I just think about that. Like, this shit ain't supposed to feel, you know, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta, you know, wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it. And you catch some wisdom off of that. You know what I mean? You know, since my mixtape grind, I had a campaign called the Marathon. You know, and it was really when I left Epic. A lot of the songs that was going on my album turned into the Marathon mixtape. And then I released it, and then you know, it's just like a metaphor for being a long haul. You don't judge it by one leg of the race. If you judge me by my first leg, you'd have been like, you know, Nip the biggest dude on the West. And then if you judge me by the second leg, you might be like, Nip didn't drop an album, you're disappointed. But if you judge me by the third leg, you're gonna be like, Nip an independent mogul. Yeah. But if you step back and look at it as a marathon, like this dude came from, you know, single house family, a gang banging environment, you know what I'm saying, didn't graduate high school, and been through the bullshit of the streets of LA, the county jail, the bullshit of just the traps that got set. And, you know, as a self-motivated hustler, turned it into this. And, you know, that's why Victory Lab, to me, is going to be the next project I put out. And my biggest one, you know, like you talked about, partnering up with somebody, it's going to be the one that we put on that platform. Because it represents what I felt we could do on the marathon, leaving a major level. It's like we can build this brand on our own. Come back. I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit. And that's, you know, you're gonna really take the stance if I'm gonna die behind what I'm getting at right now.